Hello, my name is Nakia Smith, and today I'm doing a presentation on Iconodule versus Iconoclast. In the course of our class and discussions, I thought that this subject was one of the controversial subjects. Another subject that I thought was very controversial was the nudity of Greek art, and does it encourage pornography. But today I want to focus on Iconoclast versus Iconodule, and I'm also going to discuss whether I consider myself an Iconoclast or Iconodule at the end, and why. Well, Iconoclast is a person or a group of people who are opposed to religious art or the use of icons and would have them destroyed. The person who was the lead of this iconoclast idea was Leo III. He was the leader of the iconoclast movement, and he was influenced by the religion Islam. And in the religion of Islam, they were very opposed to and against the religious images and icons. For the icons, they are sacred images representing the saints, Christ, and the Virgin, as well as narrative scenes such as Christ's crucifixion. So when you see images of Jesus in the churches, and or you see people wearing the crucifixions with the cross and Jesus hanging from the cross, all those are images or icons, are considered images and icons. The movement also started in the 18th century in the Byzantine Empire, and the reason behind the justification of Leo III was the second commandment. And the second commandment says you should not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You should not bow down to them nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands to those who love me and keep my commandment. So according to the second commandment, it's not a good thing to serve images or icons, because God says he's a jealous God, and basically he only wants us to serve him. And moving on to the Iconodule. Iconodule is one who serves images or approves religious art and the use of icons. The defender of the Iconodule position was theologian Saint John of Damascus. His reason behind his position was that an image was symbol and the idea of incarnation, God becoming man. I'm not sure how people feel about incarnation and how they feel about God becoming man, but that was his reasoning behind it. It also states that there were 3 different waves or time periods where leaders of the empire tried to end iconoclasm. And one of those times was in 1787, when the Empress Irene was head of the empire, and she ended the first wave of iconoclasm. The second wave is in 1815, and it was led by Leo V. He actually reintroduced iconoclasm as empirical policy, so it kind of came back. And it wasn't until 1842 where Theodora acceded the throne and ended iconoclasm for good. And once the iconoclasm period ended for good, it was celebrated on the first Sunday in Lent in 843. And it's also the restoration of orthodoxy, which is celebrated and still celebrated today. I guess I'm now at the part where I tell you if I consider myself an iconoclast or iconodule. I consider myself an iconoclast. However, I would not destroy religious art or icons. It says in the Bible that you should not judge. No sin is greater than the other. It's just my personal preference not to serve images or icons based off the second commandment, which I stated previously earlier in the video. And another reason why I consider myself an iconoclast is the simple fact that I'm more spiritual than religious. I'm not tied to one particular denomination as far as being Methodist or being Islam or considering myself Baptist or anything like that. I'm kind of more spiritual when it comes to God and things of that nature. So yes, I would consider myself an iconoclast, but I feel like destroying people's property in general and it's just wrong. And God gave us free will, so just because I have a preference for something doesn't mean that I would go as far as criticizing someone else because of their personal beliefs and preferences. I feel like we should all be able to be who we are, accept who we are, but respect each other's differences at the same time. Because if we were all the same, life would be boring. We are all different for a reason. We all have our own preferences. We all have our different perspectives on what we think is right and what we think is wrong. And I think we should all just love one another, accept each other's differences, respect each other's differences, and move forward. So that's my discussion on Iconoclast versus Iconodule, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.